I've always felt a bit weird about saying boner log.
Sometimes I get the cannon out.
Hey, this is behind the scenes stuff for us to start an episode with. It's me writing down what we're putting on the...
Ooh, what are you going to put on
What's
it?
it actually called, this? Clapperboard.
Clapperboard.
I called it clicky board, which
You've
is
got
wrong.
the clap.
Okay, I've got the clapperboard. What are we going to put on this?
Oh, mate.
Back to the old school.
Yeah.
We can just go on TRC. That's
TRC.
right. Here we are.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Nice to see everyone. It's been a few weeks since we've been down here, so it's really lovely to be back. And we're going to raise the energy up just a little bit from what I just said. Just up a little bit. Let the coffee just up a little bit.
The doing the Needles episode was really cool. The Needles one where
Yes.
he interviewed us.
It was actually.
Interview.
It was. It was really cool. It gave me a lot of reflection points, for sure, over the last few weeks, I guess, since that came out.
Yeah.
It was interesting to sit and watch it back. There's a lot of likes. I noticed that about myself. Say a lot of like.
Really? Yeah.
Not a lot of likes on the thing, but like a lot of likes in the... Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. It's rare that you pick up on those things, so it was interesting to pick up on that. So apologies to anyone who listens and is just like, oh,
apologise for it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cool.
I thought it was so weird that we were sat in the same chairs, and then it was the dynamic was completely changed just by
yeah.
like it was different. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I felt
I really
chill,
enjoyed
dude.
it.
I didn't like.
Yeah, I know
just,
you really.
You just don't have to even worry. You don't have to like steer anything. Not like it's a big job, but you know what I mean.
I liked it. It was fun. Super good. It was interesting just to sit and reflect for a little bit.
Yeah,
And having someone ask certain questions and stuff. And I think for me, especially with doing this thing that I'm in the process of doing with this coach and stuff like that.
Right, talk us through. What coach have you got? Come on. Let's hear it, dude.
Oh, bro, it sounds so kooky. I think we spoke about it a little bit already. I don't know if we did or not. But I feel like I just needed to... I said like again. I feel like... I was at a point where I needed to figure out a little bit of direction, and this guy came, highly recommended, business coach, used to be at Red Bull. Yeah, anyway, lovely guy, and we're doing this, basically just a bit of a reflection and also just planning on what's going on with this business and my life and everything in general. So it's been really interesting, man. I've been doing a lot of reflection.
So how does it work? Weekly. So you meet up with someone weekly? I don't know anything about
Yeah,
this.
I don't know if I can give away his secrets, but I can probably do it. So it's every 2 weeks. So it's 6 sessions.
Yep.
And I guess what we're doing, I think, because obviously I don't really know myself, is we are looking at the past to figure out where my personal value systems are as far as what I enjoy doing as a job and what things I enjoy. So basically it's helped me create this triangle of values. So for mine, we have like growth, creativity and success. So then you guess when you're doing this, you kind of realize maybe you're in a job and you don't align with those values, and that's why you might not enjoy it. So for this, doing the podcast, I sit right in the middle of that triangle of things. So your growth, because things are always growing and you're always working on growth.
So this is just the things that make you
Motivate
happy,
you.
basically. Motivate you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it just keeps you on that train.
Nice, man.
So it's been really interesting, dude. I'll not go into it too much. We'll go into it like at the end of doing it. I think it'd be super good for me to reflect on it as well. And then we just did the last session I just did was like planning for the future, which I never do. And we opened up this conversation with him saying that a lot of people don't plan for the future because it's a defense mechanism, because you don't know where you're going and you have no plan of how to get there. And I 100% subscribe to that. I do not know what I'm doing tomorrow, never mind what I'm doing in 5 years' time. So we did this really good exercise, and I'd probably advise anyone to do it if...
So it's good to plan, or it's not good to plan?
Just to have some sort of idea of, where... And the exercise we did, actually, interesting to do. Anyone wants to do it, I would advise doing it. Think about where you want to be on this day now in 5 years. So it's whatever day you're listening, August, the whatever. And where do you want to be in 5 years from this moment? It's everything. It's like, what do you want people to think of you? What do you want your house to look like? What do you want your business to look like? What do you want your days to look like? And it was good. It was dude, it was more like a hypnotism for me. It was more like, it had me kind of really dig into it, as not just the day thing was really interesting. Like, explain what you want your day to look like in 5 years.
Yeah.
Not the little bits of I want to wake up and have a coffee. It's what makes a perfect day. It's dead interesting.
Yeah, it's all. It sounds like it's all stuff that I personally don't ever think about.
Yeah.
Which is probably why you've done
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You're probably the same.
Exactly why I've done it.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to hear him sort of talk about it a little bit, and talk about how, I'm kind of in tune with a lot of this stuff in some ways. I kind of have a rough idea, and so we did this exercise last week, and I felt like I just waffled and it was just nonsense. At the end of the session, he goes, right, I've written down 9 pages of notes about your life and where you want to go. And I was just like, what? He goes, no, honestly, you are actually quite clear. It's just a case of figuring out how we get to it. And it's not ridiculous, dude. It's not, it's not Lamborghinis or anything like that.
Isn't it?
There is one. The drive's got to be big enough for one. But yeah, man, anyway, interesting. I advise anyone, if you've not really taken a deep dive into thinking about what you want your life to be, because it's bloody important. It's probably the most important thing, is living a life that you're happy with and that motivates you every day, and you wake up and you're stoked to go to work and you're just buzzing off projects that you're working on. Or you're a person who your values triangle is totally different, and maybe you enjoy having a boss and you enjoy being told where to be, and that's fine. It's just a case of figuring it out. I think we'd be really similar. I'd love for you to do that.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to do it. It's expensive, but which feels a bit weird for me, I'll be honest. I'm quite like, but it's cool, man. Investing in me, which I've never done before.
Dude, mine changes so often.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think you'd be surprised if you did what we did, where you start off with this page of words and you pick out words that mean the most to you.
Like tractor.
Yes, and digger and shovel. And,
Yeah.
And whips and cutties. Yeah, they're all on there, man. They're all on there.
There you go.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to. I've been
Wicked.
doing that, so that's been fun.
So I think that episode that we recorded was the day of us. The next day, I think we were going to Formula E.
We did go to Formula E the next day, I believe.
That's correct, isn't it? Maybe.
No, it was a week after. But for artistic purposes, for the podcast, the next day, we were filled with motivation. Yeah, what a cool experience that was. Not something I went into it. I actually did zero research. I don't know if you're meant to. What, before going into Formula E?
Yeah, well, we were guests of Nissan. I was like, really feel like a sport brat if you turn up and you don't know anything about it. I'm not used to that. Like normally you go, if you get a invite to like an event, you want to know what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. I turned up completely open-minded.
Very green. Yeah, totally green.
Yeah.
Totally green into it. Slight bit of looking on Instagram to figure out who was good, who was bad. But ultimately, zero research.
I don't really know much. I really didn't know much. I thought that they still had the last time I saw Formula E on TV or on the internet or whatever, they still had wheel arches.
Right.
Yeah, the cars now were... Mate, it was fascinating. Actually, thinking about it, how much you learnt over those 2 days was...
Yeah, it was cool. So to set the scene,
okay,
we got invited by Nissan, our new partner, to visit the London round, which was the final round, penultimate.
Yeah, final 2 rounds.
We
went to the one before last. Yeah,
we went to the one before. Yeah, so we went to the Saturday round of Formula E, which is, I guess you'd say, it's the electric version of Formula One.
Yeah, they're fairly focused. I think as an overview, because we got kind of given a few overviews of Formula E. Yeah. They're like focused in towns.
Yes,
right? So
it
they're
seems
like
like
town
it.
races.
Yeah,
but actually as a race series, it's quite interesting.
As a race season, it's very interesting. So
all the same, aren't they?
So all manufacturers have the same vehicle. The only difference is they have different hardware and different software. Is that correct?
The power unit is different, isn't it?
Yeah, so each individual manufacturer using their own power units.
So they all look the same other than the livery.
Yeah, which is really cool.
They're using different battery technology and motors. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. I think that is correct.
There are other things like obviously they're going slower speeds often, so it's more like Monaco if you picked a round out of the F1.
Yeah.
So they're less reliant on like downforce. It's more about like mechanical grip, and they're only allowed one set of tyres per
That's cool.
race.
Yeah.
Very cool. There were a few things that are really different, weren't there? There's also that like attack mode that they have to manage battery power.
Yep.
I guess a lot of the things are geared around like having technology pass on to production cars.
Yeah,
which is
that's
why
what.
Nissan's
Especially when we
involved.
got that tour around the garage,
Yeah.
they spoke loads about a lot of what they're doing is going to get translated into production vehicles.
Yeah.
Whether it was learning about the regenerative braking or I don't know other aspects of it. I'm not too sure.
Hey,
A lot of cables.
in mountain biking, if you made in downhill mountain biking, which I'd say is probably I would say that's the closest thing to Formula One in mountain biking for me, from where I'm sat. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Agree.
Agreed. So, what do you think would happen if you had like one of these series, like I guess touring cars? Not touring cars. The series where they're all the same vehicle.
Yeah.
Like Formula E.
Yeah.
Where they're approximately all the same vehicle. How much do you reckon would change about the field?
That's so interesting. Because then it is coming down to just driver.
Yeah.
100% driver. There is a few series like that though. Didn't the Red Bull rookie motorcycle one, that was all on the same
that's right.
bike, wasn't it? And
That's
then
KTM, wasn't it?
KTM,
Yeah.
and you do have these outliers that are leading and winning most races, I think.
What do you reckon
But
would happen in mountain biking?
What if you have one bike?
Yeah.
And it's
like
set
if you
up the
pick one-
exact same for everybody. What an incredible event.
What would happen?
The Focus Cup.
We can never find out what happens because it's never going to be a reality. But like, would Amory stick Amory on a Focus?
But could it be a reality? If, okay, mate, this is fantastic. So you have blank bikes. There is no branding on these bikes at all. And so athletes that are in a contract with whoever can ride it because it's not advertising another. So it's just a bike that's just, you know, I guess the thing is it always going to look a bit like another bike? I think that's probably the thing. It's going to look like a Slash or it's going to look like a Commensal.
In terms of development, they've all kind of... A lot of bikes are really good now.
Yeah.
I think back probably when first started following downhill, there was still some bikes that were like not very good.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
I think it's come a long way, the sport.
Mate, I love this. So you take the top 20 and they race on the same bike. I guess you do have variables because the track's going to change.
You could make it a hardtail.
Could make it a hardtail.
It could just be...
A steel hardtail.
Yeah.
And we just see who it is. Who's the fastest guy on a steel hardtail down Champéry?
I've just got back from Champéry. Oh my...
Mate, I love that concept though. It's amazing.
A funny thought. I've written down on here Champéry. Have I written down on here Champéry? I've got notes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back. Rewind.
So we went to Formula E.
Yeah.
Amazing invitation by Nissan. Full hospitality guys with the lanyards and the merch.
We were the guys with the lanyards and merch, weren't we?
As far if and I hate drawing the correlation between Formula One, but I think you have to because that's what everyone seems to be doing a little bit. If it was Formula One, we were VIP beyond VIP. Canapes.
We had canapes.
Yep.
I don't know
Sim
when to
racing.
stop with canapes, but no one seemingly cared.
No, they didn't.
No.
In fact, they were pushing it down our throats.
They were, really, weren't they? Yeah.
Homeboy kept coming.
Yep.
With a little smile.
Okay.
Here you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, we were VIPs beyond VIPs. We got a nice hotel in London, courtesy of Nissan. We went out for a lovely dinner with the team. And I know it sounds kooky, man, but it was cool because I definitely came away feeling part of something, which as a partnership for us and what we do here was like really cool.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of the racing and stuff, just to come away and be like, okay, we feel a little bit part of this brand a little bit. That was really greatly appreciated and very cool to
absolutely.
do.
Big thanks. It's interesting seeing electric car racing, wasn't it? Because these things are very, very quick.
Yeah.
And you know, I like a combustion engine. I like...
Yeah.
But there was still... I think the thing I liked about it was the attack mode.
Okay.
And the qualifying. So in the qualifying, which is called the shakedown, I believe.
Yes.
They don't have to conserve battery, and I think watching those cars not have to conserve battery was really like noticeably cool, wasn't it? Like so, seeing them go like absolute stink.
And most of their strategy, I guess, from what we learned for the race, was managing battery power and not necessarily about pit stops or tyres or anything like that. It was managing the battery power, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which I guess is just like knowing how much you can push, I guess.
Yeah. And that regenerative braking sounds really sick when it's like full gas.
Yeah, it does.
Because where we were stood overlooking that back straight thing and there was braking for that corner, it's so cool.
It's kind of like that's the really cool thing about it, because you can hear, there's obviously less sound, but you can almost hear more. Yeah. Like you can hear the tyres more because they're not
the apex
blocked out by a wild engine. Yeah.
It was interesting. It was really cool. It was
cool, wasn't it?
It was a lot more interesting than I expected it to be, if that makes sense. It was especially getting to look around the pits, and we had a real backstage look in the pits as well at some point and seeing some of the cool stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
Really behind.
Yeah. It was mega cool.
Yeah, it was...
each pit had I thought it was funny that each pit had just like this box that's literally filled with software engineers that are just like data analysing. Like it wasn't like a classic pit where you expect to see like mechanics with grease on their face, smoking cigarettes around the back. And, it was more like had a computer vibe to the whole thing, didn't it?
Yes.
Like the whole... What did they call the bit in the middle? There was like a big
fan village.
Yeah, the fan village. That was all like dark with like neons and stuff. It was quite like...
It was different.
It was different, yeah.
It was different. I mean, it was 50% motor racing, 50% sim racing for me. That was kind of how I looked at it. Yeah. And the way that it was, marketed, I guess, was quite futuristic, which, I don't really know where I sit with that personally, but it was fun. Yeah, for a day or two.
I think the biggest thing I took away was just like how much mountain biking could do with some form of just hospitality. Where,
nice.
Well, in it though, like how do you get all this big money running a team? Yeah, essentially making a car go around a track. Like it's the same as we're making bike teams are making a bike go down a hill. It's not like And it's because of the hospitality suites, and it's because of the opportunity to for people to go and do business there and all of that. And this is set up for it. It's quite the spectacle, isn't it?
It was quite the spectacle.
And we had tours and we had this and that, and that's why Marlborough supported Ferrari for all those years or whatever, because they could do their business.
Yeah, and I guess you come away with knowledge, you come away with feeling part of something. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, dude. I don't really know what hospitality is like at a downhill race. I guess there's really not that much, unless you are...
there's not that much. And it'd be difficult to do it. I think they should standardise like a motorway section so that you could, I don't know, have an archway that goes over the track with a see-through floor or something, so that everyone can have a space above the track, or just something like that.
I always refer to in my brain, I'm like, well, it's hard to see because they're in the woods, but then that doesn't work because Formula One, they're around the other side of the track for half of it, most of it, 90% of it, you don't see them.
Yeah, and you might listen to this and think it's irrelevant, but it's absolutely not, because the drivers of the Formula E cars have really quite small followings. Yeah, and yet in a mountain bike race, you can walk up to the pits and Greg Minnaar, the greatest of all time, will be literally stood there. So we have a sport that is you can market it in a different way. Like it is comparable. It's not like just it's not comparable. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The deliverables are comparable.
Yes, yeah, and you're providing something that basically, if we could nail hospitality, then downhill could be way bigger. I think.
Mate, I've never thought about it like that. I've never really thought about it like that. I think because we're in it, you don't really think that people... Because if you go to downhill, you get hospitality in a way that you can go in the pits and you can do whatever. But most people don't have that. And sponsors probably don't even have that. I guess if you're sponsoring a downhill team, I bet you can go in that rig, but you're not going to get canapes. You're going to go to a burger van.
Imagine at the minute I set up the Focus World Cup downhill team. Yeah, I'm going to be the team manager. Like on Drive to Survive, one of those charismatic team managers.
I mean, I've
managed to get Marlborough to sponsor it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, cigarettes, good old fashioned Marlboro. We got like head to toe red Troy Lee outfits with Marlboro white.
Smoke coming off your head.
We look pretty cool, right? The team is cool.
Yeah.
It's popping. The head of marketing and one of the big wigs from sales is coming to the race.
Yeah.
What can I currently give him that gives him access? He can look around the pits, but everyone can look around the pits. Wellies and an umbrella, and he can walk up into the woods. Like, it is a hard thing to make it into like this sort of like, because ultimately we've all got VIP access. This sport is so cool. You can walk down the trackside, see the world's best come past.
Yeah.
At 40 miles an hour through roots, rocks, jumping off stuff. Like, how could we make downhill more like?
Man, that's so interesting. Yeah, the deliverables are similar. It just needs to happen, doesn't it? There needs to be a truck roll up that's a hospitality truck. And I'm just trying to think back to a few of the World Cups I've been to. You know, Shimano did something. You could go and stand on top of the Shimano rig. It's kind of cool, but it's different. It's not a single brand. It's not quite it, is it?
No. I mean, it is the start of it, isn't it?
Please use the comment section. Let's hear, how do you make downhill more hospitable to hospitable?
Is it even the right word, hospitality? I think it is.
Yeah, hospitable to sponsors. How do we get those big bucks in? How do they get those big bucks in? I was just thinking back as well, because Crankworx just took place.
Yeah.
And I saw there, you know, Pink Bike had almost like a hospitality setup, it looked like. You could win, I think you could go and hang out and watch from the Pink Bike hospitality section. So that's kind of an element of it.
It is, and I've completely forgotten about this, but I was DMR brand manager and I went there. Right, so I've actually done this.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, right, I was DMR's brand manager and we were booking ads on Pink Bike.
Yep.
So as you know, but maybe if you're listening you don't know, I've always ridden for DMR, but I have also worked for them. And at one point I was kind of representing the brand as the brand manager at Crankworx. And we went heli biking, we did a escape room, and then I watched the finals from the thingy. So that is hospitality.
Yes.
So it absolutely does.
It is
happen,
out there, yeah. It is.
I think that is hospitality that you can give to a guy with scabs on his arms who rides mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And he's going to be stoked.
Yeah.
But I think the
Marlboro
difference,
CEO isn't going to...
Yeah, I think that is the difference, is like these sort of out of industry sponsors, it needs to be really quite something. It needs to be quite the spectacle, and it needs to be quite an experience, doesn't it, for them to...
I think we should make a note of this and pick it up as well with our guest tomorrow, because I think he'd have some great insights into it.
Great idea. Yeah. Yes.
So the CEO of Marlboro is here tomorrow, right?
That's right.
We're going to be smoking every episode.
Imagine. Right. Talking of that, I could go for a cigarette break. Let's go to an ad. I don't smoke, just to make it clear. Companionship. Are you looking to take ownership of your health? Introducing AG1, a powerful daily nutrition supplement designed by scientists to support your body's needs. AG1 is a comprehensive and convenient blend of over 70 high-quality ingredients packed with vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced nutrients.
With just one scoop each morning mixed with water, AG1 helps to support your brain, heart, energy, and immune system. It's a powerfully simple way to start your day right. While we have a degree of individuality, science tells us that the human body is interconnected, which is why AG1 contains over 70 ingredients to support your baseline nutrition. Drink AG1 is the best way to feel reassured that you're supporting your body with a broad range of nutrients it needs. AG1 isn't just another supplement, it's a morning ritual, a timely habit that fits seamlessly into your routine. And it does fit into my routine.
Dude, it does, yeah.
Because I just do it in the morning before anything. Apparently you're meant to have it on empty stomach, which I actually quite like. I take it with me in my little AG1 shaker and just go walk the dog.
I do it empty stomach every time, actually.
Yeah.
Because it said on the instructions, and I did what was on the instructions.
Like,
you
that's
know what I mean?
the sort of people we are.
Davey, what are the benefits?
Well, Ollie, they speak for themselves. From sustained energy throughout the day to immune support and stress management, AG1 has you covered. Plus, AG1 is NSF certified for sport, ensuring the highest quality ingredients and manufacturing standards. Ready to take the next step in your wellness journey? Visit drinkag1.com/ridecompanion today for a special offer. we are going to give you free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your next purchase.
So that's drinkag1.com/the ride companion.
That's right, mate. Yeah.
Nice.
drinkag1.com/ride companion.
Take ownership of your health with AG1. Check it out now.
Check it out now. Okay, we're back.
Great start, dude. Great start.
Oh, that was the cough for the smoking cough.
Oh, it was a
gag. Some people got
Keep it in.
And if you got it, throw a like on the video.
Keep it in, Doug. Yeah, well, that was a fun conversation, actually, thinking about hospitality.
It was. I enjoyed that. I think now we like hospitality now, I'd say. Now we're car guys.
Big time. We need to bring it into downhill. Hey, I
TRC
just because we've had a break
Suite.
and we've had time to reflect, I really like the idea of a company that sponsors the World Cup, let's just say Motul, if they had a double high container set up and then either side of the containers you had like bars so that all the bigwigs from all of these different companies could line up and then Bruni can come through the middle pedaling into the final jump on the World Cup circuit. You can't imagine that wouldn't be exciting...
Cool. No, it's cool. It's a good idea. And obviously, you have TVs in there. You can watch the top of the run. Because that's what you do when you're...
Immersive GoPro experience, canapes, drinks. Those are very, very important for these people.
Canapes are most important. Yeah. And drinks.
Pit experiences.
Lanyards.
A track walk. Lanyards.
Lanyards make it.
Lanyards
as soon as you've got a lanyard around your neck...
Dude, you can't imagine it not being good. It would be so cool.
Yeah, it would. It would. I agree totally. Maybe that's what. Maybe that and a Drive to Survive style documentary, and it's made.
That can
help. This
help.
podcast goes through the roof because there's so many new fans.
That would help the most.
So many new fans. I think we spoke about that before, but I always think that if one massive, I won't say celebrity, just really started biking and was like at
really
races,
into it, yeah.
Like he was going to down. Imagine, I don't know. Think of a big celebrity. Who would be most? Who? LeBron James. Yeah, he's already trying, but he's not.
Top. Yeah.
Imagine if LeBron goes to a World Cup. He could go to Mount St.
Well, he would. He'd be invested. He's invested in a team, isn't he?
Canyon. So
yeah.
Holy yeah.
So LeBron would be. But I mean, where would you put LeBron at the minute? You can't put him in Fort William car park pits in wellies and an umbrella. You can't do it.
No,
it's not possible. So yeah,
that's
absolutely.
So true.
There
where
is
would you put
something
LeBron at the minute?
That's what it needs.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, imagine that. You just got a Christian McConaughey or someone massive.
Yeah.
Just, I love downhill mountain biking. And then all of that.
At the minute, it would be we'd have to start off chill, though. It'd have to start off. You can't go straight in with LeBron. You'd have to start off with sort of like C list, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Henry Wilkins?
No. Like, I think...
You mean... Doesn't have to be a basketball player.
No, it's not.
Because I only know two. And it's LeBron and Henry Wilkins. So that's all we have. My knowledge is now gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to start with C-lister celebrity. That's fine. Who would we get there? Barry from EastEnders.
Barry from EastEnders is
getting
there
in
the finish line.
There you go. Have a canapé.
Selfies, people come past him behind him.
Come on, Barry. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Nice, man. Like it. Hey, we're talking about the World Cup. This is my segue.
Cheers.
Cheers. We are now talking about the World Cup, aren't we? We've moved on. We're away from the hospitality. Big thanks, Nissan, because it was a really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, thank you, Nissan. Appreciate it. Really cool.
So since I've been away, I've been on a stag do. Full media blackout. I literally would leave my phone at the hotel. I went away on Christian Fairclough's stag party.
Yeah.
Not the usual stag party. It was just a lot of riding, I'm going to be honest, in the Alps. And I got to ride Champéry, downhill track.
Sick.
Now, I got to say, I've ridden lots and lots of downhill tracks, lots and lots of tracks around the world.
Lots of World Cup downhill tracks?
Yeah, and I've ridden a lot of World Cup downhill tracks.
Amazing.
Champéry is quite something, man.
Really?
And I rode it in the wet, which was even more cool because it's the Champéry downhill World Cup track in the wet. Like, I was actually there for the Danny Hart Champéry run, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got to go and experience it as you commentating in your own head as Warner's voice.
I tell you what, I was not commentating in my own head. I was trying to survive. It's way steeper than it looks. It's way bigger compressions, all the turns. The holes are bigger.
Sorry. Trying to Survive would be a great title for the downhill. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
It's really nice.
Yeah, Trying to Survive.
Trying to Survive.
Yeah.
I like it.
We'll message that Clay later.
But yeah,
Sorry,
honestly, dude, it was really, really cool. Like the length and physicality of it. And it's not like me saying that is not coming from it's not like I don't know already.
Yeah.
It was just really shocking to actually ride it. It was wicked.
It's so cool as well, talking about, sort of joining this together about hospitality and stuff like that someone who's a fan of the sport can go and ride Champéry.
Mate, exactly.
You just go there.
It's
Taped off.
Silverstone.
What is it? It's just loosely or...
It's a bike park track.
Bike park track.
I mean, it's insane, yeah.
So good.
It really is insane. Like, I think, obviously, Champéry's changed a lot over the years, and I think I was with a lot of guys that raced it when, like, the year that Samuel did the incredible... He was, like, 3 seconds off in the wet and all of that with a crash. And they said back then it was, like, loose and loam, and now it's hard-packed and big G-out turns. So I think it's changed a lot. I don't know how much it's similar to when Danny won. I don't know.
But missed from the World Cup circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Big time.
I mean, I just couldn't believe it. It's so harsh.
Yeah,
you had to. Yeah, it was so rough, so harsh. Yeah, it's
not a way you want to make a living. Riding that every week.
Well, I tell you what, right. This is very strange. So, I've gone through. So since I was 17, I raced downhill when I was a kid. So downhill bikes when I was a kid, when I was like 14 or 15, they were probably not as good as trail bikes are today.
Yeah,
like a lot has moved on since I had a downhill bike. So this trip, I built up a downhill bike.
So sick.
Yeah, and I got to ride downhill. So if you think about how crazy this is, I've never ridden downhill with Brendan. I never have.
Right.
We don't ride downhill bikes here at home.
No.
So
Always
Brendan's
trail bikes.
Brendan's job is something that I don't ever really... I ride all the time with him, and I never ride downhill bikes, so...
Interesting. How did your riding style change from jump? Because when did you last ride a downhill bike?
Well, yeah, well, I couldn't even really say I ever have.
Okay.
If I'm honest.
Okay.
Because downhill bike, that's what I mean. Like, downhill bikes were so different back then.
Right. So you've never ridden a modern one?
No.
Sick.
Never.
And what did it feel like? How do you change your riding? Like, your head's programmed into trail bike mode all the time? Do you start just monster trucking through stuff and going like, oh, actually, I can just go through this? It just feels
limitless.
Rather than...
It just feels limitless. And the riding as well is limitless because it's like so fast, so high speed.
Yeah.
Like a bike with more travel like that just feels literally limitless. Like I couldn't... What I noticed was I couldn't get it to the point where, like on my trail bike, I get it to the edge of it being out of control the whole time, which is what I love biking like. Like, I'm not saying I'm the fastest by any means, but I can get it so the bike is like rattling around and, and you're whacking turns and you're doing weird stuff to land on landings or tripling, whatever. A downhill bike, I can't get it to that stage.
Okay.
Like, I think probably I look boring on a downhill bike by comparison. And then following Bren, like the pace that he's comfortable with just messing around at is really wild. Bear in mind, again, this is someone I ride with all the time. So
you've just seen another element of his riding.
Yeah.
More
cool.
Respect now.
Mate, it was really cool. But no, I've got a lot of respect despite playing it down. But like, it was really cool experience. And a lot of the people I was with were also like World Cup downhill racers from the past. So it was a really high paced group. It was wicked experience, actually.
So Christian Fairclough, who's stag do you're on, is he a former World Cup racer, or is he always?
I mean, he's so quick.
He's just friends with them as well, or how did?
Yeah, they all just grew up like they all just grew up going out to exactly Morzine, which is why it's like a interesting, which is why it's like a kind of what would be a symbolic spot for him to have his stag do's, because when they were younger they just used to, in the summer they would just get in the van and go out with downhill bikes, which I never did. I was mates with all of them. I never did. I never had a downhill bike or the money or anything, and I was riding dirt jumps competitively then. So I skipped all of that part of my best mates' lives, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in Death Grip 2, the movie, there's a section, I think, where Bren talks about how he's just out there in a van chasing prize money, I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that bit. So that whole period was spent around, around the tracks that we were riding. So it was really cool to get to ride it with all those boys and hear all these stories of.
That's rad.
It wasn't a classic stag do. It had elements of it, but not really.
It was more a biking holiday.
Yeah, it was biking holiday.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
respect.
But yeah, it was mega cool to go and ride. A lot of these tracks that I've heard about actually. Yeah, like. Have you ever done Morzine?
No.
So we were staying in Morzine. We were based out of Morzine. So probably to a lot of our listeners, I would say Morzine's probably a bucket list.
I'd say so.
Riding spot. It's
Yes.
like the Alps. You go to Morzine. A lot of the people there were certainly. The town was packed with people out there riding.
Yeah.
So we were based at the bottom, basically, of Plenny Lift Station, and from there, I've ridden there a lot.
How did you do it? Hotel it, or did you chalet it?
Yeah, got a chalet. Yeah, so
Nice.
there was
All the
15
lads.
people. Yeah, just it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good, and we're up for first lift every day, I think, pretty much. So it was wicked. But Morzine Bike Park, a lot of the riding we ended up doing was just like kind of off-piste, I guess, illegal
Okay.
riding. So it's down all the steeps,
Yeah.
which are pretty crazy. Like,
I can imagine.
yeah, it's really, really steep. It's great fun. And on a downhill bike, like, you just have so much grip. So you can kind of put yourself in really mental spots. And these tracks, they just, people, local dudes that we were like riding with and stuff, they call them like tear-offs. So the track opens up, you get X amount of runs, and then it's just blown out and not possible to ride. So it's wicked riding all of those, yeah.
Wow. Favorite trail? Is there a name of one that you would say from the stag do that's actually a biking holiday? Is there?
I don't know. No, because the favourite ones are all these like lomas.
Okay.
Which last
like unnamed, just 100
dude,
runs.
they're not even there long enough to be named.
Sick.
It's insane. Because we must have got, as soon as you find one that's like still got, like, you can still have support in the turns, you just rally it, and like it's why they get broken, is because there's such a demand for them. But
so good.
oh mate, it's mint. Yeah, it's such fun riding, and it was like a bit different for me. It was like using all the ski lifts like you use London Underground for me, like finding.
I'd like to go and experience that.
And,
I'll be honest.
yeah,
that is a bucket list one at the moment.
Yeah,
just haven't done it. Plenty of opportunity to, but
plenty of opportunities to
like it. But needed to remove the ceiling, I think, which is something that we're doing in the business coaching. The ceiling.
Dude.
The ceiling needs to be removed sometimes. You need to give yourself permission to go do these things,
Mate, you don't even need to, you've got a vehicle that you can go out there.
Oh, yeah.
You could just drive out there, dude. You can completely remove the ceiling. Well, you can't actually remove the ceiling in the vehicle we're talking about.
No.
You've teased it. You've talk us through it.
What? The van?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess, we've got part of this collaboration partnership with Nissan is that we were going to build a mobile studio.
Yeah.
And
it's sat outside right now.
It's sat outside, and it is really sick. I mean, so let's actually unpack it. So the original idea was to build a real life mobile studio where we could go and do episodes on the road inside. But the reality of that is, if anyone's seen any of the behind the scenes stuff of this show, you need quite a lot of space.
Way more than I thought.
Way more than what you think. We've got depth, we've got cameras, we've got all sorts of stuff. So what we did do is we unpacked that a little bit, and we came up with a concept which is basically the ultimate mobile, I guess, sort of rolling production facility / bike hauler. So we have a vehicle, the new Nissan Prima Star.
It's pretty dreamy.
It's pretty dreamy. There's something there. We'll figure it out. It's Nissan Prima Star, which basically holds all of our equipment. So we can take cameras, and we can take chairs, and we can take all this sort of stuff on the road, and 2 bikes. And we can
wait. By the time this comes out, are you allowed to tell what's actually you've put in it?
Let's just tease it. We've got a video coming out soon. We're going to do a bit of a walkthrough of the van, show the build a little bit, and then we're going to hopefully have an episode next week using said mobile
Can't wait.
studio.
Can't wait. Brilliant.
Big up Nissan. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a dream come true. But again, we'll be talking about it way more.
Oh, yeah.
But partnering with a brand like Nissan is,
the dream.
it's a lot. It's a lot for someone like me to take in.
There we go.
You know, really,
Wicked.
really sick. So yeah, big up.
Right, I'm gonna go to my notes because since we've last been on, there's so many massive things have been going on. Like we've had,
Yep.
and are still going on. Like namely the Olympics. That's actually my watching.
I like it. Please.
And Pidcock won gold. Did you see it? Have you seen the pass?
No.
He won gold in the
I know
Olympic
about it,
cross
though.
country.
Yes.
So it's a big thing to have someone from the UK win gold.
It is. It's a big thing.
And he arrived in the finish line area to booze because he beat the French on their own. Yeah, he did. And Pauline Ferrand-Prévot had just won the women's, so they nearly got a double gold. Pidcock prevented it.
Ruined it.
Last lap pass after a puncture. It was super exciting, actually.
Okay.
But,
so he got a puncture,
yeah.
and then they change it out, and he's back on,
Yeah.
catches the leader up, and passes him.
Yeah, I think he was he was like 30 something seconds back.
Really? With 4 laps to go, is that right? 3 or 4 laps to go?
Something like that. Nine laps, I think.
Oh, that, okay.
I could be wrong. In fact, I'm probably wrong.
A lot of laps.
But still, pretty cool. And pretty cool for
The UK.
the UK and
UK XC scene and
think
biking in general. But
Yeah.
what's impressive about that guy, and I don't know much about Tom Pidcock, I'll be honest with you, but he did just do the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Or did he pull out a little early? No, he didn't. He did the Tour de France, and then he's gone and raced Olympic cross country.
And there's Olympic road as well.
Fit guy.
I was looking at the winner of the men's road, and he's just come off the Tour.
Really?
And then he's done a road race. Like Pidcock's done I find it really fascinating because it's like, what does Olympic cross country look like compared to a day on the Tour?
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different. Wonder if he'd do the podcast one day. Tom
So it's
Pidcock.
like crit race.
He must live in the UK, right? Let's get him on.
Up your way.
Up my way. All right, let's get him on. Can we get Tom Pidcock on? If anyone's got a connection with Tom, let's try and get Tom Pidcock on. I'm sure he listens to the show.
It'd be so cool to, definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool to talk to him about that pass. Because imagine what that feels like, knocking off really the favourite, isn't
Passionate French fans as well.
I've loved watching the Olympics. I absolutely love it. I've only seen clips so far, but then since I've been home the other night when I got back, I just put the Olympics on and I just have it playing. And yeah, I think what I love about it is that it's just like sports. I just love sport, really. Some more than others, admittedly. But I love that you just get drawn into just like I was watching fencing the other day.
Okay.
I'm not talking about putting up a fence. That's the fencing I know. I'm talking about like wearing a mask and dancing around with a sword. It was insane. And you see how passionately people are doing Olympic fencing.
It's funny when you dip into these little sports. So little, probably is quite little compared to mountain biking, but you know, there's a scene around it and there's a culture and there's fans and there's people, you know, it's dead interested into it. I wish I'd watched more of it, dude. When I say more, I mean some. I mean any. But it's kind of tough at home. We don't have a TV, and it's something that we were talking about before going live on air today. Getting a bit more in with life, because I've distanced myself from normal life a bit too much, that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm very much in Davy's bubble at the moment of house renovations and working, and like I don't.
Well, dude, if it's not in your algorithm, you're not going to see it.
So true.
So and that is the case. If you're just all of your entertainment is on social media, YouTube, and in your phone, it relies on what you've watched the last. What your computer decides.
It's very true.
It's a weird thought, isn't it?
But I would like to have watched more of the Olympics, and it's still going on, so there's still time to get into it. There's a few things I'd like to see.
What, breakdancing?
Yes. Yes, I'd like to see. Flag football, does that happen or no? It didn't happen. Next Olympic
Flag
cycle,
football.
that is when flag. I thought it was this one. So there's a few sports that I do like watching. So I'd like to watch that. I'd like
flag football.
No, breakdancing.
Okay. Breakdancing's so bizarre, but I guess it's not. To me, it's so weird that skateboarding, breakdancing.
Yeah, I watched a few clips of skateboarding, because I still don't understand, and maybe you know this, but why is some athletes professional and some aren't? Why is that? Why is skateboarders Nigel Houston? Insert other names that are professional skateboarders here, but why is he doing the skate and then the boxers, for example, aren't professional? You've not got Tyson Fury in the Olympics. It's a similar thing. So why is that? I don't understand.
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, why are some BMX?
Is that across the board? They have to be.
Last year, I remember Daniel Dares, I think, did the Olympics. It's like really Kieran Riley, the UK guy.
What? So but then all of the basketball players are all NBA players. Like the American team is so exciting.
Why is that? But then a sport that isn't professional would be soccer. They're not the professional people.
Are they not?
Don't think so. So why does are you okay to Google that for us, Doug? Is that okay? Why are some sports professional athletes and some aren't in the Olympics? That'd be interesting to know. I guess it's probably to do with governing bodies or something like that. Not sure.
Yeah, because I remember this because of Lennox, I think, went...
In boxing, it seems like they always refer to them in their later, like they turn professional and they're like, oh, it's Olympic champion. He's come through the Olympic thing and now he's professional.
I think Lennox like didn't go pro so that he could do Olympics. I could be making that completely up.
I don't know either, but interesting to think. Why is it? So the NBA has players in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Individual sport federations.
Yes, federations.
So that's all it is. It's a federation.
Right.
Federationally governed. That's
So
some words.
So if downhill made it into the Olympics, would we have professional downhill racers? Or would you have ex-dude who's finished 10th in the BDS? He's on the Olympic squad.
I would imagine we would have. Well, seeing as Pidcock's in the gold and he's as pro as they come.
Yes.
What do you think about, right, from the outside, what do you think about downhill becoming an Olympic sport? How would you feel about it? There's no wrong answer.
No, I know there's not.
Like we just had Chris Carl on and he was hyped that BMX was in the Olympics, for instance. And that's someone who would be, BMXers especially are probably very protective over their sport. It's important that it's like core and all of those things.
I don't know if it's sort of, what would you call it? Not folklore, but I remember, I've got this thing in my head that there was an opportunity for it to be in the Olympics years ago and the riders weren't keen because it'd be skin suit-y and also they might drug test. This is going back years, though, that I heard that. It's probably not true. But that's what's in my head, that the riders didn't want it.
Right.
Looking at what the sport is now and how professional, obviously, it is, how far it's come, I dare say a lot of riders might be keen on being Olympians. It's definitely cool to have an Olympic medal.
So you can't have sponsors on there. Same in big surfing, thing. Same in road, isn't it? And
you can have some sponsors, but not... They obviously don't have energy drink helmets, but then I'm pretty sure I saw an energy drink helmet in the BMX, a Red Bull one.
Oh, really?
I think, again, might be off. Should have looked at this before.
Yeah, no. What I think is, I actually don't know.
I don't think they like that.
I think that's the only reason I can think of that, because then, but I mean, the argument is, let's say the Olympic team, you can put 2 downhillers from each country.
Yes.
Then you get 2 downhill riders from each country that get a bigger proportion of the money because they need to be supported. But then it's like,
what money? Money from where?
Sponsors.
Money from
sponsors.
So that's
why. So the reason people don't like the idea of it is that it's going to funnel money towards only whatever the size of the Olympic team. So you have a lot of sports that survive almost in obscurity, like even the sprinting, the sprinters. If you think about what we're watching the top 10 or 8, or I can't remember what it is. I think it's 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the world.
Confidence.
They're the only ones that are making any money. And then the other ones are literally fighting for...
And they're getting money from sponsors.
Sponsors and governing bodies and stuff. I think that's why people don't like it, is that it creates a funnel of...
I have a different view, which is that I thought that, for example, if you're on... The only example I have is the BMX race team, and you're in the Olympic training. You live in the facility, which I believe is in Manchester, and you're in that program that you do get paid a wage, but it's not that great.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're not allowed to have sponsors.
Yeah.
So the only bit of money that they might be making in that Olympic site training program is just from that wage that you get from British cycling.
You're absolutely right. That's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
But it'd be crazy to not think that it doesn't make you way more attractive. Even if you're not wearing your energy drink helmet, you're an Olympian. It makes you an Olympian. Then you're really marketable. And like they get used in campaigns and stuff.
Okay, all right.
To out of industry and in industry, even if the logos aren't there, we all know.
This is what I'm struggling with in my head. So let's say, for example, you have a sprinter who is sponsored by Nike and they use that person, Usain Bolt, whoever, Nike, fastest shoe in the world. I see that, I get it. But would mountain bike companies do the same thing? Would they be like, oh, it's the fastest in the world, but they're not, because it's not the World Cup, it's just the Olympics?
Well, it reaches a much broader audience, doesn't it? So then you get...
Oh, it's the dumbest conversation. I'm really trying to articulate what I mean, but I don't understand where...
It accelerates a smaller number of people.
Do you think?
Definitely it does, because there is a fewer number of people in the Olympics than, say, a downhill series.
Yes, okay.
So I think that's why. I'm only saying what I think. I don't actually know anything, but I think... Like the idea of like a healthy sport would be that you slow cook it and it gets bigger and bigger naturally. Not like have this Olympics is like a crazy spike that alienates more than half, 99% of the people, and then just elevates. But then you can argue also that that's not bad.
I agree.
Having two people from a sport going supersonic isn't a bad thing, is it? It's like...
So is World Champs our version of the Olympics, in a way?
Well, I think there's World Champs.
There's probably World Champs in everything as well, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a fencing World Champs, a breakdance World Champs, and beach
really
volleyball World
fascinates
Champs. Yeah, it fascinates me as well, actually. That I don't know, what would it look like if, going back to your original question, if downhill was in the Olympics, what would it look like? Would they do it justice? Would it be cool? I didn't see the Olympic cross country course. Was it representative of what World Cup cross country is?
Yeah,
it
for
was.
Sure. I was
sick
amazed.
track in France, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
I was just
wherever it is,
amazed that like fencing, for instance, it always gets me every time. Just you see, just the passion on the. It was the team fencing I was watching the other night, and you just see there's all of these people that have been in that sport for their lives, and this is their like passion.
Yeah, that's their peak.
As much, you could say more than my own passion for our sport. Like, I really love it, and I've never ended up on some Olympic team or like, and never really made anything of it. And they've made it happen. Fencing, dude.
Yeah.
What is fencing? Like, I didn't even realise they have electricity going through the sword.
Right.
Oof, I'm really messing this up.
Through the sword. We'll go for sword.
We're going to get so many messages for all the people fencing out there.
Disc golf's not in the Olympics, though, is it?
No, I don't think so. Maybe next year. And then they have an electric plug-in on their back as well. So then when you get touched, bzz, 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 and then it lights up a thing.
Right.
I don't know. It was just cool, like learning about these weird sports.
I wonder what it looked like before that.
Yeah.
Someone has to be watching eagle-eyed to be like, hit. Yeah.
Like that.
Interesting.
A referee, fencing.
What's the weirdest Olympic sport?
Breakdancing, 100%.
100%.
I mean, to me, that's so weird. It is so weird, dude.
I don't. Yeah. We spoke about it yesterday, right? Like, are they allowed to use actual music, or do they have to use weird SoundCloud royalty-free music?
It'll be royalty-free Olympic music. Imagine they just get it completely wrong. I mean, they're going to get it.
They're going to get it wrong.
They have to get it wrong, don't they? Because it's so nuanced and
Olympic.
It's so like
street breakdance
subcultures are so sensitive that you can't like make like a.
Which is why it's interesting that skate seems to be accepted. Don't know. You have like the most core, I'd say, guy, Nigel Houston, probably the most famous skater. Really.
I don't know if he's core.
I don't
think he's.
Let us know in the comments if you're a skater. Is he core,
I think
or is he a sellout?
I think that's what.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. And that's probably a problem that we have, because the sport, the downhill, is so core. Do the athletes who go get sort of like, does it become the snow biking?
Dude, maybe it's the best example ever. Maybe you've just really given the best example ever, and Niger has like become this like mainstream popular culture figure, Olympian skateboarder, and it doesn't actually create any growth. You just create like one star, and then the rest of the sport is just like, there's so many amazing skaters, but they don't get anywhere near. It creates this like big wage gap between one guy and the rest. I don't know. Maybe that's what people are talking about. Who knows? Leave in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Now on to an ad break. Catch you in a bit.
Ollie, mate, what is the ads? What are you doing?
Well, I didn't think I'd have to stop. It's so quiet.
I know you've been riding a lot and you're really trying to focus on recovery, but you can't always be recovering, can you?
I can if I sponsor this Compex and you got the Fix 2.0 and I'm making my legs feel better.
Oh, mate.
Honestly, this thing is incredible. It's been helping me out loads. I've been riding a lot, and this thing, I get home and I just use it for recovery. You can use it for before as well, though, right?
You can, mate. Yeah, the Compex Fix 2.0 Master helps warm up muscles before a workout.
Oh, nice.
And relieve stiffness after a hard session, okay?
That's what I,
That's what you're
using it for. Yeah, I've just finished a hard session, so.
Yeah, it has 5. Ollie.
Yeah.
It's my favourite tool as well, all right? The Compex Fix 2.0 massager helps warm up muscles before a workout and relieve stiffness after a hard session.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got 5 powerful intensity settings.
Oh, yeah, it has. That's done with this dial here.
That's done with a
it's
dial.
Really good, yeah.
Paired with a high stall force will give the intense pressure needed to help relieve the toughest spots safely and comfortably.
Hey, I want to point out that the stall force thing is really important because when you're pushing down hard, really getting in those difficult points,
nooks and crannies,
it's not stalling. And some of the other ones, I'll be honest,
not
only did I buy them off Amazon, they stalled and then they set my house on fire. Oh. So you don't want that.
No, mate, you don't want that at all. It also comes with 5 interchangeable tips.
Yep.
Okay, and a rotating arm helps tailor your massage specific to the needs of different muscle groups. Okay. Yep. It has a removable and rechargeable batteries, a compact design, and a quiet motor help provide relief anywhere and everywhere. Okay, so you can bring your inner pro with the Fix 2.0 massage gun. It did rhyme.
Just saying that rhyme.
It did. It did rhyme. But yeah, honestly, dude, real life experiences. I use mine all the time. Post ride, pre ride. I just love using the Compex Fix 2.0.
Do you know what I found the other day? I was at my physio. Everything he had was Compex. I really liked that,
mate. Yeah,
it's really good.
Chosen by professionals. Yeah, and they do loads of other stuff too. So check out compex.com. All right, you can look through all of the different recovery tools. They've got
muscle stims.
Muscle stims. You've got they got the core belt. They got this ankle protection. You need some of that.
Need it.
Wrist protection. Maybe need some of that.
I do now.
Yeah, loads of stuff.
I'm gonna get Compexed up, dude.
Compexed up.
Hey, do we have anything to offer to our companionship? Because I do like it when we finish ads on an offer.
Yeah, we got to finish on. Hey, it's a big offer too, mate.
Is it?
Yeah. So if you head to compex.com, enter the promo code The Ride Companion.
Okay.
What is it?
The Ride Companion.
All in caps.
Okay, nice. I was about to ask.
We're going to knock off a whopping 20% off.
20%?
20% off. Now, if that's not a deal to get you recovered, ready to ride through spring, then I don't know.
Hey, you
Can't do any better.
You might get 20% off, but you're going to be 100% satisfied with the product, let me tell you.
Oh, and on that note,
that was nice.
Thank you, Compex.
Thanks, Compex.
Back in. Mate, your watching was Olympics.
Yeah.
My watching has to be the Olympics of slopestyle.
Joyride,
mountain biking.
It's the Olympics of slopestyle, actually.
It's the Olympics of slopestyle,
I mean,
for sure.
It is slopestyle.
And then I corrected myself with mountain biking, but then I thought no, because cross country isn't at Crankworks.
Cross country isn't at Crankworks? Yeah. So Crankworks is that? I actually haven't ever thought of that.
No.
Crankworks is gravity only, really.
Gravity. Yeah.
Gravity, dude.
Joyride.
Society, dude.
Society, dude.
Gravity, dude.
Crankworks, mate.
Joyride.
Yes.
Right, I've got a load of notes.
And I won
Joyride.
fantasy.
Did you actually?
No, someone did, and they've won themselves some breaks. Which is
nice.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Oh, well, good. We don't announce on it, do we?
No,
okay.
We don't. We keep this one separate at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a load of notes from Joyride. Should we go through some of the sort of like?
I guess we're going to be
podiums first.
Yeah.
So this is the first women's Whistler Joyride. Is that correct?
It is the first Whistler Joyride. Yeah.
Because I mean, really, like Whistler, Crankworks, Joyride. That is slopestyle. If you could like summarize slopestyle, this is it.
That's what you imagine in your head.
It is this is the one on the calendar.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know
the
what?
Sickest one.
What if you close your eyes and imagine it? What do you think of?
Butterfingers and that backdrop with the hotel.
Yeah.
Whale tail.
Yeah.
That's what I think of in
The
my head.
whale tail, yeah.
Yeah.
I think of chopper.
Nice.
Chopper, tail whip.
Good one.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
Massive crowds. Crowds like no other place.
Big crowds.
Big crowds. So
I really want to go.
you should.
I really do. Especially after watching this last one and just been immersed in it a little bit from home and just seeing all of the events and all of the people, the industry that's there.
It's cool, man.
A lot of
Crankworks do a good
DMs
job.
asking if we are at Crankworks. A lot of DMs.
I just
no.
can't afford to get out there, I'll be honest.
I know.
I mean, and when you're there, have I told you a story
Maybe
about
Marlborough will
Deeks
hook
and
us
I?
up for next year.
Well, Deeks and I stayed in Chopper, who's like head judge. Hopefully I'm not like dobbing him in it, but we stayed in his hotel room, just on the sofa and the floor, whatever. And when he left, we still had 2 days, 2 nights. So we were like, cool, well, we'll just try and get the room for another 2 nights. They wanted $3,000.
Which isn't in the budget.
Is definitely. I mean, what's the most expensive hotel you've ever stayed in?
£250 a night.
Was it nice?
Yeah, it was in Sweden, in Gothenburg. I remember the amount as well because we actually paid 100, but we upsold £150. So 2,500 krona. Yeah, it was lovely. Gothenburg, Gothia Towers. It was beautiful. Outdoor swimming pool on the roof, balcony.
Do you know what I think's crazy is that if you spend more on a hotel, doesn't really like if you turn the UV light on in that room.
I've just realised something.
Go on.
The hotel room we probably stayed in London was more expensive.
Reckon?
I think
I've
it
no
could have
idea.
been, yeah.
I've no
I mean,
idea.
in London, Covent Garden, it's got to be more than 250 quid.
I actually don't know, dude. I don't know.
Totally forgot. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that sort of those are the things I forget about trips. Like when I book a holiday, I'm always like, which really very rarely happens, but I'm always like shocked at how much money it actually costs. To sleep.
To shut your eyes.
Literally
And
to
be
sleep
dead to
and
the
have
world.
somewhere to put your bag.
Yeah.
So, which brings me on to the next. So Deeks and I couldn't stay in the hotel, and we went to stay in a pod hotel. And we stayed in a pod one in a Pangea pod in Whistler.
Nice.
Yeah. It was funny, they just literally ply boxes with chargers in.
Be honest about the rest of it.
The girl underneath, she farted, and then when we got in, we were just in a single person thing, and it smelled so much of fart, and we were crying, laughing.
And the rest of it.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Okay. I know what you can say. Yeah. I did influence. But I've actually. I feel like I've talked about this before.
I think that's how I know. But
Yeah, we've talked about it before. Yeah.
so you pulled the card.
Yeah, I did. I tried. Yeah, I tried.
And it worked.
It's the only time I've ever done it, actually.
That's interesting.
Well, you know, I can do some promo on the social media if it helps. I don't know.
Horrible. That made me feel bad.
It
That did make me
worked.
feel bad.
Hey, $3,000.
There we have it.
Saved in the bank.
Exactly. So
Remains.
it was the first women's Joyride Whistler.
Yeah, boy.
We had Shellen Reno, we had Natasha Miller and Alma, who's won a lot of the other ones.
She has.
And it's getting better and better. It's quite an exciting time
is.
to watch. It's like
Yes.
more and more tricks are getting thrown down. It's
Definitely.
well exciting.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool. Really cool. It can only be a positive thing, can't it?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Then in the men's, we had Maxi in third,
Yeah, boy.
who's podcast. What do we call podcast alumni?
Yeah. Alumni.
Is that
Because
right?
Max has been on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Alumni. Yeah. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Max, Tim Bringer in second. Dude, have you seen the runs they're doing now?
Bringer with the double flip off the...
Oh, I've got... yeah, that's true. Bringer, the boner log. Are we not call? I don't think we're calling it boner
That's
log
why
anymore.
I let you say it. Because I just said the thing, didn't I?
You don't want to say boner log.
I don't know.
Does
I don't know if
people
you're
not
allowed.
want to say boner log? Has the
Yeah.
boner log been 2024?
I think it could have
It's
been.
going to be called the Canon now.
The Cannon.
We're going to pretend boners
Hey,
don't exist, are we?
both-
Are we going to pretend boners don't
Both
exist?
great names for what it actually is.
I've always felt a bit weird about saying boner log.
Sometimes I get the cannon out. Huh?
Yeah, dude.
It's the same thing.
Respect, man. That's
Hey,
cool. That's
if
a
it
cool
comes out
moment.
the ground and sticks up in the air,
If we had...
it's gonna be. You're gonna call it the same thing.
If
so
we
we might
had
as well
coolest
call it the
moments on the
phallus log.
podcast, yeah, if we had coolest moments on the podcast, that was one of them. They call it the Canon. You were pretty cool then. Yeah. So Bringer did the cannon double flip. I thought that was insane. Imagine double flipping off a flat. I mean, imagine double flipping first of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine double flipping on a flat transition.
And been that big. It's
Do
a
you
big
know
dude
what?
to get all that round, right?
To kind of do a
I
bit
wonder
of
if
a
that-
yeah, he's a big dude, isn't he? To do a bit of like a callback, but like the Olympic gymnastics is actually we're talking like slopestyle now is like gymnastics.
Yeah.
I was watching something about Simone Biles on TV on the internet, and it shows like some BTS, and they're like scared of the moves that they do that perfect.
Really?
And slopestyle is exactly the same. Like you can easily watch and forget how sketchy all of it is because they're landing so perfect.
Yeah, it looks so easy, but it's just like not, is it?
Like
You
you're
know,
not
there's a
practicing.
move in gymnastic bars that's been banned. Do you know that?
Yeah, there's quite a few, isn't there?
The
Yeah.
dead something they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
dead,
yeah.
Dead body or something.
Really
where you sort
gnarly.
of like, yeah, throw
Imagine
your hips
that.
into it and just.
Imagine like tricks get banned in slopestyle. How gnarly they'd have to be.
Oh, I know, yeah. That's very
But
true.
but yeah, these runs are right on the edge, as you can see from like the list of injuries. I mean, the ones I've written down here are obviously Emil.
Yeah.
Emil's shoulder injury, so he is out.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy takeaway. Eistig got hurt. Show alumni. Emil is also show alumni.
True.
I like saying alumni, dude.
We had a meal on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's
Together.
no. But
Oh,
he's show alumni.
okay. I was
right?
trying
Yeah.
to think. Yeah.
So.
Oh, sick.
Um,
But Godsey
Godsey.
did the triple.
Godsey's done it.
Did it. Ticked it off, which is unbelievable coming into the season. Wondering if anyone could beat Emil. And Godsey managed to do it 3 times.
Very impressive.
Unreal. Unbelievable. Which,
They're
yeah,
computer game runs.
probably, yeah, they are computer game runs. And then you got Godsey's helmet written down.
Please.
Well, he took it off and smashed it, didn't he?
He was happy. It was quite a funny ending, wasn't it? I saw the clip. I was like, whoa. Imagine, but that just goes to show, like,
That's
the
raw-
run is...
raw emotion right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure
the run
after
must
it
be
was like, whoops.
so much to even remember, and like how much you have to like drill every single one of those jumps and like obstacles. How do you practice for all these obstacles? We should get someone from Slopestyle on to talk about it because
We should.
it is fascinating.
Tom Eisted, come back.
Yeah.
Come chat.
Yeah,
Let's chat
that'd be
about
good.
it.
And bad luck on get well soon.
Yeah,
because
get well
Eisted's
soon.
out as well.
He is. Eisted's out as well. It's a tough way to make a living, that is.
Mate, isn't it?
Being a bike gymnast.
Oh my goodness. It's but literally bike gymnastics.
Yeah. it
Bike
is.
gymnastics should be somewhere. I mean, if it should be in the X Games, mountain bike gymnastics should be in the X Games. at
You
least,
think?
shouldn't it?
I think slopestyle should be in the X Games.
Should, shouldn't it?
100%. Yeah. And probably should downhill. Downhill would be a great X Games.
There you go. So there's the
That's our Olympics.
options. You go Olympic or you go X Games. What are you going with? Okay, slopestyle, Davey.
Olympics.
Olympic
Oh,
slopestyle.
I didn't mean
Ooh,
to say
ooh.
that.
So what would you prefer
Okay, so we
for
have
biking?
X Games.
X Games for slopestyle.
Yes.
Downhill.
X Games.
X Games for downhill as well.
Yes.
Okay. Enduro.
Olympics.
Oh, interesting. There you go.
Your turn. Ready?
Yeah.
Slopestyle.
X Games.
Downhill.
Olympics. I think.
Enduro.
These are just where I'd want to see them, by the way. I'm not saying I think it would be good because we've just done a massive bit on how it might not be good for a sport. I just have no idea. I just see both. I just see racing as like Olympic,
Yeah.
which is why breakdancing feels like it should be in X Games.
I just feel like
Subjective.
So I guess you could say like X Games is more like a supercross vibe to downhill. It would add a bit more glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
It would add logos. It would add hype. It would add all that stuff. Olympics would be dumbing down downhill to me.
Okay.
It'd be no logos, skin suits,
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey,
But-
why choose? Let's go both.
both.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go both. All right, we can go both.
I mean, it's not that much of a big season, is it?
Wonder
7 races.
What if
Could do a
downhill?
couple more.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few weekends left. Yeah. What if downhill in the X Games was more like a hard line?
Or downhill in the Olympics, Paula. Mate, this is a fun conversation.
How
isn't it?
about-
I can imagine hardline in the X Games, not the Olympics.
How about you merge the two? So there is points for tricks, but it's also a downhill race.
Dude, do you remember the
That
first
must have been
speed
done.
and style?
Yeah, I guess that's
The first speed and style. They used to people were doing such it was just racers doing tricks, if you know what I mean. So people were doing now. If you watch speed and style, it's pretty crazy. But I didn't actually watch it at Crankworks. But yeah, they were just doing X ups. I remember Bernard just doing like one handers
Nice.
and no handers and stuff. But yeah, that's funny.
There should maybe be a best trick as well. While we're just throwing stuff out there,
I don't know why we're doing this. Why we're sort of like
because we're the
we just want to.
leads.
I literally just want to watch stuff.
Yeah.
So, but then that's bitten me before. I wanted semis. I want semis to be stopped now.
Make it stop.
I wanted to try it out. Now it's happening. Don't want it anymore.
No,
It's
take it
too
back,
much.
take it
It's
back.
too much.
Take it back. That's funny. Yeah, great, man. Good bike chat there. Enjoyed that bike chat.
Good bike chat. Hey, I've thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Actually, I've got a listening. Have you got a listening?
Yeah.
Okay. Any charge it. That's my listening.
Any charger. I'm just
Yeah.
going to find mine. Tell me
Okay.
about any charging.
Well, no, it's charge it.
Oh, charge it. Any charge it.
Honestly, I don't have anything to say. That's what I'm listening to at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get my phone because I think we did listen to questions as well, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did. So mine's going to be Hammer by Dirty Phonics and Sullivan King. And it's... I was feeling a little bit low in the gym the other day and I just typed into Spotify drum and bass metal. And this track came up. And it's
That's what you felt like in the gym.
fucking wild, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll make you want to run through a door. and
Really,
Punch your
yeah.
nan. Yeah, but it's gnarly. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's good. It's a good track. All right, let's have a look, see if we've got any listener questions. I think.
Please. They've
We
not
might
been
not-
up long, have they?
No, there's not that many.
Barely any. Wow, there you go. So that's how many we get if we...
Do it last minute. We get. That's tough, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh, well.
It's tough.
You got any listener questions, Doug? Okay.
Right, let's do a couple. 24, 26 mullet bikes, dope or nope. So I guess that's referring to like
24,
Remy
26,
Morton's
Remy Morton,
bike.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care about.
I don't care.
No.
Dope if Remy's riding it.
Yeah.
If I'm riding it, bit kooky.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me to get one, it's a nope
Yeah.
from me. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't notice a great deal.
You
And
don't.
the change from 26 to 29 has happened over a long period of time, and I don't notice that much. I think that I probably run a smaller frame size because I run bigger wheels.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
so. I have a medium bike.
You ride medium, don't you? Yeah.
yeah, in order to
And
make it
you're
more
6 foot?
playful. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I ride medium, a little bit smaller than you.
maybe I should try a mullet. Who knows? Focus don't make one, so I'm not gonna.
No.
Catch
Hey,
you
I
in a
tell you
bit.
what, we give a quick shout out to the weather, as it's really nice at the moment. And
Where this episode's gone? We're shouting out the weather.
Yeah. And yesterday I went electric bicycling, and it was just a lovely bicycle ride. And
Was it?
I really, one of those rides.
Yeah.
One of those. So you just like, oh, it was lovely. It wasn't like gnarly or anything. I was on my own. But yeah, I went.
Just a nice one.
Yeah, it's a lovely one. Did a little bit of trials, which I've really started enjoying on the.
I love the idea of you doing trials on your own. There's nothing like. It's like that sort of like.
sad. But it's and it's crap.
Just on your own.
Especially on an e-bike. It's so crap. It's like literally the lamest stuff.
I love full power e-bikes for trials. It's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. That's what I did yesterday. I've got to take you along this thing. This
sounds
this
great.
ride from my house. It's
Chris
like,
Ackrick has that edit out actually.
yes, he does.
Yeah, we should have plugged that. We're
should have
plugging it
plugged
now.
it. Yeah,
Hey, do you know what? I think I'm going to ditch the other listener questions. Sorry if you sent in, and thank you for the support. I think that's the end of the episode. I think it's just reached a
That
natural
bad.
end.
We're shouting out the weather. It's time to wrap up.
I think that's the sign.
It's time to wrap this bitch up.
Thanks ever so much for listening and watching and liking and subscribing and everything you do.
Yeah, we appreciate you. It's lovely to catch up. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
enjoyed it.
Yeah, go and do some fun stuff outside with this vehicle of ours.
Yeah, Make the most of the sun. Peace and love.
Like and subscribe. Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better
Thanks,
than
dude.
normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah.
Click on the video on Olly's face.
That's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.